Here's the Communist Manifesto by Brian Lau. Produced by Brian Lau. Made by Brian Lau, and yeah, did a lot. Let's get into this. Here's the Communist Manifesto pamphlet. It's a pamphlet. It's nice. The general summary. The Communist Manifesto was written by Marx and Engels. They were German philosophers. The book was published in 1848 in London, which is weird because they were German. But the book, it's not a book, it's a pamphlet. Just because the title is a pamphlet does not mean it's something worthless. In fact, it was the second most read text in the history of the world. The first is the Bible, so the competition is definitely there. This pamphlet is one of the most influential works of all time. That was just the general summary of it. Here comes the video.
The Communist Manifesto. The Communists realized that by organizing the proletariat, they could vote more power. The proletariat will use its political supremacy to wrest, by degree, all capital from the bourgeois, to centralize all instruments of production in the hands of the states. 1. Abolition of property in land and application of all rents of land to public purposes. 2. A heavy progressive or graduate income tax. 3. Abolition of all rights of inheritance. 4. Confiscation of the property of all emigrants and rebels. 5. Centralization of credit in the banks of the state by means of national bank with state capital and exclusive monopoly. 6. Centralization of means of communication and transport in the hands of the state. 7. Extension of factories and instruments of production owned by the state, the bringing into cultivation of wastelands, and the improvement of soil generally in accordance with a common plan. 8. Equal obligation of all to work, establishment of industrial armies, especially for agriculture. 9. Combination of agriculture with manufacturing industries. Gradual abolition of all the distinction between town and country by a more equitable distribution of the populace over the country. 10. Free education for all children in public schools. Abolition of children's factory labour in its present form. Combination of education with industrial...
Alright, here's a picture of Marx and Engels. They like to rock the beard, apparently. Nothing wrong with that. Alright, more in depth about the Communist Manifesto. It's Marx and Engels' theories about class struggle and the problems of capitalism. They believed that capitalism would end and lead to communism. They thought capitalism would fall, and then the reason it would fall is because the working people, who are called the proletariat, they wouldn't get enough for what they put in, which is otherwise saying that the product that they made was worth more than the cost of the labor that they were doing in itself. This would make the proletariat class, it would make them poorer, and it would make the bourgeoisie, or the rich people, it would make them richer by allowing them to buy a cheaper product. As the proletariat, or the working class, they just keep making product that's worth more than what they're getting paid. So, in theory, the working people get paid less, as the rich be able to get richer by buying cheap goods. So that's more in depth about it. And here's the key concepts. With capitalism in place over time, the proletariat will work harder for a wage less than the product they're creating. So, as I said before, this lets the bourgeoisie continue to get richer, buy cheap goods, and then capitalism the proletariat get angry, is what I meant. So, again, Marx and Engels' theory is that the proletariat people will be angry because their wage just isn't as much as the product being made. That makes them poor, which makes them angry. So this will cause them to revolt. This revolt's the key concept here, because with the revolt, because there are more working people than rich people, obviously the revolting people will win with more bodies. So when the proletariat people win this result, the new society will become a communist one. This will make everything equal. with everything being equal, the proletariat will be happy. And when everything is equal, it's called communist, which is pretty much the opposite of the capitalist society. So, with everything equal, a communist society is classless, which would make the proletariat people happy, which is most of the population. So that's good. And also, with communism, you have in theory a perfect society after this revolt. So there would be no more change after this in Marx and Engels' theory. And here are the closing credits coming up. Here's Brian Lauer. Here are the sources. But not only is it me, it's thought Mr. O Classroom in general. You guys are great. Mr. O is great. This presentation was great. Everything's just great. Have a nice day, folks. I love you.